No Matthews, no Nylander, no Tanev, no problem. What a collective effort from the Buds. You're listening to the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.
You're Locked On Maple Leafs, your daily podcast on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, Dave.
Cause maybe he's gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, he's our Joseph Woll.
Hello and welcome into the Locked On Leafs podcast, the daily Maple Leafs centric podcast hosted by myself, Mike DiStefano, and my co-host Dave Morassutti. Thank you for making us your daily listen, and thank you for making the Locked On Network the number one sports podcast network in North America. That's a little thing Dave and I do. Whenever Joey Woll has a performance like that, gets a shutout, that's how we start the show. How it feeling, pal?
You know, I had to say this. I was listening to my Spotify playlist today before the game. Wonderball happened to come about, and I was like, it'd be nice. We got a nice Joseph Woll game to talk about tonight.
And don't we ever, man? Joseph Woll, great game. The Maple Leafs, shorthanded Leafs. I mean, there wasn't a lot of expectation of this team tonight with the New Jersey Devils coming to town. They blank the Devils 4-0 and pick up the victory. No Matthews, no Nylander, Chris Tanev out for this one as well. And they put forward, one of their more complete games that we've seen all season from this team. A game where, they were competing and battling from, whistle to whistle and looked like a Craig Berube system type of game. And then they got great goaltending to boot. I mean, is this the winning formula, Dave? Like, does this have to be, is this the winning formula? Is this what Craig Berube is asking for on a nightly basis for this team to find success?
I think so. Just playing, when your back's against the wall a little bit, just, make it easy, play hard, do kind of the right things, be direct with everything you do. And kind of the result, right? You kind of saw this in this game. Now,
and special team success.
The special teams was kind of did win them the game in a lot of ways. Like, the penalty kill was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Especially without your top penalty kill, Auston Matthews out there.
And Chris Tanev.
Yeah. Like, maybe does this hopefully make us realize we don't need to play Auston Matthews on the penalty kill. We got enough guys that can do that, Craig.
Yeah,
no more blocking shots for Auston Matthews on the penalty kill. That should be over now.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I mean, there's enough guys out there who can kill penalties where you don't have to risk hurting Auston Matthews, who's already kind of looks like he's being put together by duct tape this season. I think it showed that there are other guys who can carry that water right now and be successful at it. Is Matthews a good penalty killer? Yeah, he's proven to be. But obviously there's some other guys who can do it as well. But that's one, I guess one takeaway you could have from this game. But it's so bizarre. Like, whenever this team, and we saw this a lot last year and the year before and the year before that, we haven't quite seen it as much this year. We did tonight, obviously, where, when the team has their back up against the wall, no one gives them a chance to win. Somehow they rally together and they get it done. They play a complete team effort. And they kind of show everyone like, hey, you doubted us? Shame on you, because here's where we are and here's what we can do. And I just don't understand why they can't do this and play this way with a full complement of players. Like, why does it take not having your superstar players in order to play this way? Like, I obviously Matthews and Nylander aren't the problem. Like, you're a better team with those guys when they are in your lineup and on the ice. Like, that is not at all, like, I think anybody suggesting that is silly. However, when you got guys that buy in to the system, the way it's supposed to be played, you can see how the result is supposed to be. And I think that's kind of what we found tonight.
Yeah, like, for me, it kind of speaks to other guys realizing, okay, no Matthews, no Nylander, I have to step up.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were the ones who had to be direct and take the puck to the net. Those are the guys who had to shoot. And maybe it allows guys to play a little more free, right? Where it's like, okay, I don't have to just consistently get the puck to Matthews. I can actually just shoot it, right? Bobby McMann had 6 shots tonight. I thought Bobby McMann had a very good game. Obviously, opened the scoring, but is Bobby McMann taking 6 shots if he's got Matthews next to him? Maybe not. Maybe he's passing up some of those looks and giving it up to Auston because that's what he feels like he has to do. You can make the same argument for a bunch of different players. But to me, he was the one who kind of led the way. Max Domi had 3 shots. Easton Cowan had 3 shots. Nicky Bobby, a 3-shot night. Matthew Nyes, a 3-shot night. It was very spread out throughout the lineup. And I think you could argue that it's because there was no stress and they were just out there and kind of playing free and clear, and maybe for the first time in quite a while, because again, without those guys, there was low expectations on the team. And they just said, all right, if we play our game, that gives us the best chance to pull out the win. And they did. They bought in. They played that team effort. They protected the puck. I think they only have 9 giveaways, which is still, 9 giveaways, but it's not the 18 that they had, that they were averaging going into the game.
I was going to say, they probably had that many last time they played this New Jersey Devils team.
Yeah, you protect the puck, you win some battles in the zone, you win some foot races, you stay on top of pucks, you get good goaltending, you get good special teams. It's simple stuff, but that's what Craig Berube asked for. He keeps saying, it's simple, got to make it simple. And when you see a game like that, you start to understand really how simple it is. It's just basic, hockey where you work hard and you do the little things right, and the goals will come.
Play hard, skate hard, right? And your chances are going to come, right? They put in the effort start to finish, right? There was look, I get it. The Devils had a lot of chances in this game, but this is probably close to everyone pulling their weight. Joseph Woll stood on his head, right? The defense, I thought they were, there was opportunities, especially in front of the net, but I thought they held their own pretty good considering they were shorthanded. And offensively, a lot of guys stepped up in this game to make this happen. You brought up Bobby McMann. I mean, Nick Robertson, the game that he had, and you keep forgetting John Tavares is on this team, right? They're down Willie and Matthews, but they still got JT there, right? So
and Nyes, and that's 3 games in a row Nyes scored, empty netter, but still, Matthew Nyes having to get a bigger role with those guys out, needing to be a top contributor for this Maple Leafs team. So overall, it was a good team win. I thought the team up and down had a pretty good effort. Thought defensively they were, they're pretty good, pretty solid. They didn't give up, a crazy amount of grade A chances. There were a few. You're not gonna, completely shut down the Devils. It's a good team over there. They got some good players like that. I don't know how Nico Hischier didn't score in the paint there. That was probably one of the best saves we've seen all year from Maple Leafs goaltender Joseph Woll, getting the paddle down to preserve his shutouts. So he was the story of the night, though. As much as we can credit, the team play, the depth coming up, stepping up in the absence of Matthews and Nylander. We'll throw Tanev in there as well. I mean, the Leafs don't win this game if Joseph Woll doesn't stand on his head either. 3.47 goals saved above expected. He's my number 1 star of the game. I'm sure he was your number 1 star of the game. And that's the guy that the Maple Leafs really should be crediting and giving the game belt to after an evening like that.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. When your goalie gets a shutout, it means he did not allow a lot to go past him. And I think that's credit to him, because I think it's not an easy game when your blue line is thinking we got to play differently without guys in the lineup, and we just need a bit of a confidence boost. I think that's what the goaltender provided them. With Joseph Woll playing the way he was, guys can probably play it a little more free and press things offensively, and they're not, having to think that they need to play conservatively. They didn't play conservatively. And I think a big part of that was, they felt confidence in the guy between the pipes. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't confidence with Joseph Woll before, but I think in this game specifically, the Devils have been struggling, but they're not a team that gets shut out very often. Sheldon Keefe's teams do not get shut out very often.
No.
So, and I think that's a pretty big statement from them, considering how the last time these two teams played against each other. So the total 180 and having Joseph Woll stand on his head like he did, it bodes well because a goalie going on a run that can really boost your team's chances.
Was it the New Jersey game where Stolarz came out and called out the team? Was that after the Devils game? Was it that one? It might have been. Yeah, look that up. I feel like it could have been the New Jersey game where he had that voice where he came out and, kind of ripped the team. I think
it was Seattle.
Okay, maybe. It was around the same time, though. It was quite early in the season where the team wasn't playing well. But overall, you got to be happy with the performance. The Maple Leafs, shorthanded, still able to pick up a valuable 2 points against the team they're chasing in the standings. And, you open up the standings chart and you take a look when you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, the Maple Leafs, 2 more points. They're at 42 points, only 3 shy of the Florida Panthers for the wild card spot and the Capitals. So they're only 3 points out of a wild card spot, same amount of games played. So they're inching closer and closer. They come out of the break and they're 2-0-1. They picked up 5 of a possible 6 points out of the break. They won the one leading into. So they picked up 7 of a possible 8 points since they made the shakeup on the bench by removing Mark Savard. So far it's paying off, getting some pretty good early dividends for the Maple Leafs. We'll see if they can keep it going. Second and third star quickly, Dave, and then we'll do an injury update on the other side because that's where the more concerning thing comes into play. But second and third star from tonight for you?
Yeah, I mean Nick Robertson, I thought he was playing at another level tonight in terms of not just the shooting but the vision.
Yeah,
right? He was finding like the by McMann, right, directly leading to goals, and like that's something you need from Nick Robertson. That's what his game is. He's an offensive player, and he's playing top 6. He's got to contribute. He's got to generate those chances, and I thought he did a good job of that tonight.
Yeah, I agree. It's a few games in a row that he's put together where he's played well. So Nick Robertson's starting to string together some positive play. And then I had the power play as a third star tonight. They got it going with Bob McMann on the power play, and then almost got another power play goal. Time had expired, but the power play was out there. So the Leafs power play, and it looks so much better, right? They snapped the streak, and now they're snapping it around. They got so much more confidence, and even without Nylander and Matthews, they're able to pass the puck around and get it to the middle of the ice and then get the shot off. And it seems to be what's working, and they're finding success doing it. And again, another goal tonight. They technically, the power play unit had scored twice, although time expired, so it's technically a 5-on-5 goal. But more success from the power play, which is a big difference from pre and post Christmas break, which is exactly what the coaching shakeup was supposed to accomplish. And so far, so good. Tanev, Joshua also missed tonight. We haven't really talked about him being out of the lineup, but Tanev, Joshua, Nylander, Matthews all missed tonight. What is their future going forward? We got some injury updates for you guys, and it's the final show of 2025. So I got some 2025 Maple Leafs trivia that I'm going to quiz Dave on. So that's all coming up next here in the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. There's nothing like being near the ice during hockey season. The speed, the hits, the atmosphere, it's unmatched. Watching at home is great, but being in the building is a completely different experience. The only thing that used to get in the way was actually getting the tickets. The long queues, the endless screens, and prices changing at checkout. That's why the Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing NHL tickets and experiences in just a few steps. The app is incredibly easy to use. Browsing, comparing, buying tickets takes just minutes. It's one of my favorite features is I can see my view from my seat before I buy it, so know exactly what my view is going to look like. And hey, I really like that the fees are included up front. So the price you see is the price you pay. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL. That's Locked On NHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code Locked On NHL for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Welcome back into the Locked On Leafs podcast. Mike DiStefano, David Morassutti with you as we are each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, with brand new episodes of the Locked On Leafs podcast. You can also find the video version on YouTube. Subscribe there as well. Leave a comment and a like if you enjoyed the video, and let us know down below your thoughts on tonight's Maple Leafs 4-0 win over the New Jersey Devils, and doing it without Matthews, without Nylander, without Dakota Joshua, and without Chris Tanev. Very impressive, gutsy victory from the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. That being said, Dave, we do have some injury updates on the 4 players who missed tonight. Would you like to explain what the updates are on each and every one of these players?
Yeah, so I mean, we'll start with Auston Matthews because it looked like he was potentially an option for the game, but the problem was when he didn't take the morning skate, that kind of gave you a thought that he wasn't going to play. But they, Craig Berube made it seem like he was not far off from playing, so they're hoping that if he can get back onto the ice tomorrow, he'll be okay.
Yeah, he was asked directly how close is Auston Matthews to playing tonight. He said fairly close, but we'll see how he is tomorrow. Hopefully everything subsides a little bit more and see if he can get on the ice tomorrow. That would be good. So leads me to believe that there was some swelling today, and they didn't want to push it in tonight's game, and hopefully later in the week he'll be good to go. Similar news, I guess, with William Nylander. Shouldn't be too long before he comes back.
Yeah, obviously he's still day-to-day. I guess once you see Nylander back on the ice, that should give you a pretty good indication that he's close to returning. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Chris Tanev or Dakota Joshua. Chris Tanev, it's a lower body injury. It's obviously not related to what kept him out for 20-plus games earlier. But they don't want to, as they said, they don't want to jump to conclusions, speculate what it's going to be and how long. So they're waiting to see further tests that come back either tonight or tomorrow. I think tomorrow because I didn't see a Tanev update tonight. But indications say it's going to take some time. So it's just
tough.
It's tough because even though they played well tonight, if you have Tanev in that lineup, I think it just amplifies how much better that defensive group can be, right?
Yeah. I was surprised that they didn't put Stetcher and McCabe back together. Kept Stetcher with Simon Benoit, and they played well. Actually, the underlying numbers were quite good. They were the best pairing in terms of their numbers there. But I was surprised that with Tanev out that they didn't just go right back to that pairing.
Yeah, and I think maybe it just also because if you have Stetcher and McCabe together, then you got OEL with
Myers,
I guess Benoit. Right, they've kind of been the pairing, so like maybe there was concern of how they would play, but I mean, OEL didn't exactly have his best game. Like the numbers weren't very flattering. I mean, the numbers weren't flattering for some of the D pairs tonight. Yeah. It was really the McCabe. I mean, even like Stetcher and Benoit had the better games in terms of numbers themselves, but
lighter competition. We'll say that. They weren't going up against the Heischer line all night.
Yeah, like Stetcher played. I'm just kind of looking here. Like he played. I'm trying to find where. Oh, he didn't play a lot at 5-on-5, which a little surprising considering the numbers. Like I thought maybe you could have put him with Riley at times instead of having Myers, but I think they just don't want to do Benoit and Myers together because that's.
Well, even you look at the forwards that he played the most, like that pairing played the most, Stefan Nason, Paul Cotter, Luke Glendening. So they got, some pretty easy matchups there tonight. But either way, I'm still not, gonna be upset about Troy Stetcher putting up good numbers for this team. If he's gonna help Simon Benoit be a formidable third pair, we'll be happy with that one. Was just a little surprised not to see it, but hey, I guess didn't matter because they end up winning the game 4-0 regardless.
Tanev would have been nice to have in there, but obviously he's not available. And Dakota Joshua, that one
weird injury,
kidney.
What happened? Like, we don't know what happened though, right? Like, suffered a kidney injury. That's what we were told. He stayed behind in Detroit after they lost on Sunday after suffering a kidney injury. That doesn't sound great. Doesn't sound great at all.
Tic Tac Tomar put out what he thinks was the play that led to the kidney injury. I'll throw it up here for those that are watching on YouTube. He goes to hit someone
who goes right
kind of miss the boards, and he goes kind of sideways into the board. So like you could tell it probably is something that in the moment you don't feel it, but then afterwards you probably start to feel it, and there's blood and stuff. Like it's kidneys, man. Like you're not taking that lightly at all. You're getting all the tests done to make sure that that's not a concern going forward.
Yeah. So Nylander, Matthews, expectation they'll be back later in the week. Tanev, Joshua could be longer term for those two. So there's the injury updates on those guys. Brandon Carlo was back on the ice too at practice today. I didn't think there was a timeline for him, but it is good to see him, I guess, at practice skating around. So I'd imagine that he's not too far off, from getting back out there with the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, he's doing work with the return to play staff, so that's kind of like the rehab team. So I think once you start seeing him in some defensive pairings and PK work, like he would be a nice addition. And if you can get Philip Myers off, that would be. Let's start 2026 off right, guys. Let's get Brandon Carlo back. I mean, it sounds like he's close if he's been taking part in morning skates. Like,
yeah.
A full practice with Riley would be nice.
Yeah, and then get to see what he looks like healthy, because he wasn't healthy. We all could see that there was something wrong. He was not playing nearly to the level that he's expected to and that he played with last year. There's no way there was that quick of a drop-off. So hopefully when he returns, he's healthy, and him and Riley can get back to being a decent top four pairing like they were last year throughout the playoffs. So there's the injury updates there for you. If there's any more news, obviously, Dave and I will bring that to your attention over the next couple of days, and whenever it happens on the podcast. But on the other side, Dave, are you ready? It's time for trivia. We'll do that next. You're in the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. The Locked On Leafs podcast continues. Mike DiStefano, Dave Morassutti. It is the final day of the 2025 year on the calendar. It was a weird way for me to say that, but it's December 31st, 2025, the last day of the year. And it's I think it'd be fun for us to kind of look back on the year, a bit of a year in review when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I asked you yesterday on yesterday's podcast, a little bit of a tease, how many points the Maple Leafs finished 2025 with. That was ahead of the Devils game. Do you know what the final number is? Do you remember how many points the Toronto Maple Leafs finish in the year 2025?
102.
102 points is correct. So Dave, 1 for 1 with your Maple Leafs trivia. Now, that was a bit of an easy one.
That was the toss-up. We
talked about it yesterday. I was just curious if you remembered and if you could give us the updated.
Yeah, how good is my memory? Pretty much.
I don't know if I would have. My memory is horrendous. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. But anyway, question number 2 for you, Mr. Dave Morassutti. It's a true or false. Or actually, no, it's a over or below. Above or below. Yes, above or below. The Maple Leafs power play was above or below 20% in the 2025 calendar year.
I'm going to say below.
Below, final answer?
Final answer.
You are incorrect. It was actually above that on the calendar year because it was pretty good last season. Pretty good. And they're starting to pick it up this year. But in the calendar year 2025, the Maple Leafs power play finished at a 22.8% rate.
Okay.
22. So almost 3% higher. So you're wrong on that one. So you get an X there, pal. So you're 1-1.
We didn't have enough money in the budget for sound effects, so I'm just gonna make them.
Wrong. Maybe that's part of the 2026 resolutions. We should get one of those. We'll talk about that post-production stuff. We'll chat 2026. Maybe we'll ramp up production a little bit with stuff like that. All right, next question for you. Who scored the most goals on the calendar year for the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2025? Bonus if you can tell me how many.
Who scored the most in 2025? Well, I'm going to go with William Nylander.
Okay.
Oh, man. How many goals? I'm trying to remember how many goals Nylander had before he got hurt. So he's second on the team. Like, he's first on the team in goals. I'm going to go with 42.
You are, once again, incorrect. Very close, though. Very close. He was second on the team, only 1 goal shy of Auston Matthews.
Oh.
Matthews had 37 goals, Nylander 36. So it was very close between the two, but Matthews actually has more goals in the 2025 calendar year than Nylander. And neither played tonight, so neither had a chance to extend those numbers in the calendar year.
Crazy.
Matthews. And then next after that, who do you think was next? Who do you think was third?
Tavares?
Matthew Nyes. 29 goals.
Wow, I'm really getting Brew at this, huh?
Yeah, you suck. You suck. All right, ready? On a similar vein,
I'm not cheating.
True. On a similar vein, who led the team in scoring points? So points-wise, who led the team with the most points in 2025?
In 2025.
So from Jan 1 until December 31st.
Oh, man.
Are you Googling it right now, Dave?
No, I think I'm going to say Nylander because I think Matthews didn't have a lot of points last year. He had goals. He didn't have points. So I'll go Nylander. And how many games? I'm trying to think because he's missed a couple. I'll go 83 points for Nylander.
So you're half right. Nylander had 82 points, but so did Auston Matthews. So they tied. They tied.
Damn.
They both finished with 82 points on the year.
How many games they played?
76 for Matthews, 77 for Nylander. So points per game, Matthews actually had more points per game, technically. Mitch Marner had the most points per game at 1.19, if you want to go by points per game numbers. But Matthews overall and Nylander both tying with 82 apiece.
I wasn't far off on the points, at least.
No, very, very close. Okay, you ready for this one?
All right.
Simon Benoit is famous for his Superman punch gaffe, if you recall. That happened on March 10th, 2025. Who was it against? Which team?
Oh, it was Utah, the Utah Hockey Club.
No.
It
was. No, you're right. It was.
They were the Utah Hockey Club. They were not the Mammoth just yet.
Yes, I was hoping to catch you on the other one, but you actually said the right term. I jumped the gun a little bit Yes, it was him and Michael Kesserling at the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah,
The old Superman punch, and he missed. He missed the punch. That's what happened.
He missed the punch, but it was still a great photo.
I remember being at the bar watching that game with like some friends. We were getting together and watching that fight go down, and he goes for the punch. We're like, whoa, and then he misses. We're like, oh, that's embarrassing. But it was infamous. You got that one correct, though, Dave. You got that one correct. Who led the Maple Leafs in penalty minutes?
In Pims.
Pims.
Oh, it's Max Domi. Come on. The guy gets in so many fights. Only guy who fights and takes stupid penalties.
I was gonna say
my first guess initially was Simon Benoit, but I figured Domi, he gets fights and he probably has an ejection or two in there too.
It was Domi. You are correct. I don't know how many of them were fights because he takes a lot of like stick penalties too. Stupid holding, tripping, slashing. But he had 66 penalty minutes. Simon Benoit had 54. Bobby McMann was in between them though with 57. So,
what a goon!
Yeah, what a goon! I mean, he's someone who's been sticking up for the team every now and then. So yeah, I could see that number.
Domi had to have had at least one misconduct that kind of jumped his total. Had to have.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I would imagine so. All right, next question. Which goalie had the most wins in 2025? Which Maple Leafs goalie?
Ooh.
This is tough, man, because
this is so tough. Because like they all miss so many games.
Yeah.
But who is the best of the rest when it comes to that? I'm gonna still go. I'm still gonna go Joseph Woll.
Joseph Woll
maybe is 20 wins.
Correct, with 24 wins.
Oh.
But Joseph Woll, 24 wins. Now 25 wins, actually. 25 wins.
The reason why I thought of that because Anthony Stolarz has not played that much this year. So Woll's I know Woll's been off, but he's played more games this year.
Stolarz kind of stole the net at the end of last year, though. So like Stolarz played a lot of like last year's, like January to April. And Woll has, he missed the first month. He's missed a lot of time, but enough to win 24 games here and be the team's leading win getter for Toronto. Can you name all 5 goalies who have started or have played a game for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 2025 year?
Okay, well, let's go. Joseph Woll, Anthony Stolarz, Dennis Hildeby, Artur Akhtiamov, and Matt Murray.
I'll give you one more. Come on, Dave. Come on. Think back to early this year.
Who? Oh, what's his name? From the guy that cleaned off waivers. Jeez.
Yeah.
Caden Primo.
Caden Primo.
I forgot. Just to think how this season has gone, I have forgotten about Caden Primo being a Leaf.
Yeah.
They chose Caden Primo over Dennis Hildeby.
I mean, yeah, what's worse, when they chose Primo over Hildeby or when they chose Garrett Sparks over Curtis McElhinney? Which was the worst choice?
Oh, man.
At least backup goalie lower. I guess probably when they chose Sparks, because Hildeby they still had, whereas they lost McElhinney to waivers. So I guess that's probably the answer. At least they were like,
yeah, I think the McElhinney one was still bad.
Yeah, they could correct
it. For them. It was fine. He had no reason to get rid of McElhinney.
Yeah,
and then they're like, no, we're gonna go with Garrett Sparks because he won it. I get it. He won you the Calder Cup. Totally get it. But McElhinney was a proven NHL backup.
Well, like Garrett Sparks, if I'm not mistaken, he also would have required waivers at that point, right?
Probably.
I believe that was it. So you were losing one of them. So they didn't want to lose like a young goalie who had a promising future. So like you could reason with it, but obviously in hindsight, awful move. I got 2 more for you here, Dave. 2 more. What trade piece landed the Maple Leafs Henry Thrun?
Oh, Ryan Reeves.
Okay. All right. That one was easy. That one was easy.
Revo.
Can you name every single deal that the Leafs made at the NHL trade deadline, 2025 trade deadline?
Okay. All right.
First of all, how many deals? How many deals?
Okay. Well, there's the Scott Laughton trade.
Yeah.
There's the Brandon Carlo trade.
Yep.
There was there's another forward in there too. Or D-man.
I know. So now you're pretty much there. So the other two are like kind of
they were like Marley deals, right?
Yeah. So Scott Laughton, they got Scott Laughton a 4th and a 6th for Nikita Grabankin and a 2027 conditional first. Brandon Carlo for Minton a 1st and a 4th. And then they gave up future considerations for Reese Johnson. And then they traded Connor Dewar and Connor Timmins to Pittsburgh for a 5th round pick.
Right. And Connor Timmins went to Buffalo.
Yeah. So I didn't expect for you to get those, but
I forgot that they were even on the team last year.
Last one for you, Dave. Which former Maple Leafs draft pick was reacquired by the team in 2025?
Former draft pick reacquired.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, Dakota
1.
Joshua.
There you go.
I was like, who did they acquire? And I'm like, oh yeah, Dakota Joshua was a pick.
Dakota Joshua, correct. Hey, you didn't do that bad. You started out not so great with like the team leaders. The scoring.
I hadn't thought about it at all. Oh yeah, who led the Leafs in goals this year, like in 2025?
You would think that one you would have maybe no. I guess it was a 50-50 shot and you picked wrong between Nylander and Matthews, I guess. So
they're one goal off from each other.
I know.
One was overwhelmingly over.
I know. But you did pretty good. You did pretty good there, Dave. So you remember what happened in the year 2025 when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Pretty solid memory there. It was fun. Did you enjoy it?
Good.
Yeah. Let us know down below. What's that?
Test the brain a little bit on a night after the game.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know down below if you followed along. Let us know how you did answering those questions. Did you beat Dave? We were sitting there yelling at him.
You said, you idiot. I mean,
Caden Primo. How do you not remember Caden Primo? That guy stunk. Yeah, exactly.
I'm very good at blacking out crappy stuff in the past.
Clearly. Hey, join the Everydayer Club here at the Locked On Network. If you never miss an episode, it's time to make it official. Join the Locked On Everydayer Club and get ad-free audio, access to our members-only Discord, and more, all built for our most loyal fans. Click in the show description down below. There's a link there that you can find out more information, more details for the Locked On's Everydayer Club. That'll do it for us here today on the podcast. I'd like to thank you all for listening and supporting the show. You can subscribe to the Locked On Leafs podcast on all platforms and receive daily Leafs content. Follow myself on Twitter at Mickey_Canuck. Follow Dave at D_Morassutti, and follow the show as well at Locked On Leafs. We'll be back with another episode for you guys tomorrow. Until then, keep it locked right here on Locked On Leafs.